As a practice, we don't have an overriding philosophy. I think what we try to take into all the projects that we work on is to develop a dialogue with clients and work with them to create a building that meets their needs and is hopefully a joyful experience. We were asked by Joe and Derek to design them 2 separate interlinked studios in Suffolk, both tailored specifically to their individual needs, that would replace a dilapidated workshop and garage. The aim was to allow them to work in peace and be engaged with the mature garden that the studios would be positioned in. A critical part of that brief was that they were to be separate spaces. The larger studio designed to be slightly taller with more top light, and the second studio, which is glazed both ends, interconnected by a raised platform, it allowed them both to work in isolation.
We wanted a building which sat comfortably in the landscape. When I walk around the building, no matter which angle I come at it from, it never seems to jar. A lot of it, I think, is to do with the colour of it, kind of references a lot of the Suffolk bars that you come across. And I think also the reflective nature of the big windows, and I think that works very well.
To accompany the glazed ends, the rest of the studios are clad in a vertical corrugated cementitious board, which create a really lovely vertical rhythm. We incorporated a series of openable vents that would allow cross-ventilation. One of the joyful moments in designing the studios was when we saw how the 2 buildings would sit next to each other, and the process of seeing how we could create a language between the 2 buildings.
We loved it from the beginning. The way they sat side by side, the way the angles were drawn, the way it looked like a piece of sculpture. And the architects achieved what was required in the very first presentation of it, really. Well, it's very simple in terms of it's a white wall. They've managed to turn it into something slightly different. In a funny way, it's quite relaxing because you're in here to make work. You're in here to experiment and play with materials, but it's not so separated from reality. And it helps to remind you what you're making this work for.